What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you haven't seen the first part of this video where I construct this grill that I have behind me, then go and watch that if that's something that interests you. In this video, I'm going to be painting it, I'm going to be putting it on the truck, as well as some new headlight bezels, some new lights, and wiring in the accent lights that are in there, as well as putting on the new front fenders that are not damaged. So that's what we got coming up in this. It's not going to be all in one day. I'm going to break it up because I have a full-time job and I'm just doing this in the meantime. So with all that having been said, let's start painting. I'm out. Probably should have worn gloves. Alright guys, in order to do anything with the grill that we just built, we're going to have to take off these fenders because they have some Fender Damage at the lower portion. So in order to do that, it's a lot easier if you have a buddy, but if you're doing it by yourself, it's still doable. You just got to take some extra steps. Alright guys, it's much easier to see what you got to take off in order to get this fender off when it's off. So figured we'd show you since I got it down here on the floor in the garage. So, starting over here, there's 3 bolts on the bottom. This one is that cross support. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you need to take off on the front. Then there's 7 bolts inside the wheel well that you gotta do. And then there's 1 down here. Then you have the one right there, and this guy right here, plus the hinge. And really that's it. If you can get to those after you take everything else on the fender off, it's really not that hard to do. You can do it by yourself, like I said, but if you got a buddy, it'll help, especially when you are working with the hood. Now, if you have a winch, or if you have a winch bumper and a 2x4, you don't really have to worry about it too much, but still want to be careful. If you don't already have one of these, I highly recommend that you get this style ratchet. It saves you many a headache when you're working on stuff, because if you can't go back and forth, you can just twist the handle and it works. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. Okay, got the battery tray out, finally. That side was so broken, I just didn't have bolts in there. Well, while we've got this all taken apart, it's a good time to clean it up, so let's do that. This is going to take a while. I know this looks a lot different from when I said I was going to clean it. As I was cleaning it, I found a bunch of rust, and if you look down here, that whole pile, that's about 40 years of pine needles and fir needles, because this truck's a Northwest truck. So what I decided is to cut out the rusty portion that was here on the firewall, and I'm just going to leave it like that because stuff gets through the cowl cover all the time and it just drips in there, and I don't want that buildup of moisture in here. So I'm gonna put some Pour 15 on here, cover up the rust spots and all that good stuff. And this is on the inside where you can't see it, so I'm not really too worried about it. There's also a good chunk of rust on these inner fenders, and you can get a brand new set for like 60 bucks for a pair. So I'll probably put these together and then get myself a new pair of inner fenders, or I'll just find some at a junkyard. I don't know, but I'm gonna put those on as well. So we'll get that done and then we can put the fender back on. Alright, so we've got the whole thing coated in the Pour 15, and you're supposed to give it like 2 to 6 hours to dry. I think I'm just gonna let it dry with the fender on it. That way, you know, I'm giving it a nice dust-free spot for it to dry. I might be justifying my impatience, but I want to get this done. Alright, now we just do the whole thing in reverse. And remember, if you have body shims that came with the first one, make sure that you put those in the exact same spot. And you might need to get more if you're not putting the same fender on like I am. Or I am not. Just get some body shims, okay? now we're finally ready to be able to put in the grill. I'm going to put in the grill now without wiring anything for the time being, just because I have some new lights that are going in here that I'm going to do before I actually get that all taken care of. Alright, in order to put this new grill on, we're going to be utilizing the hardware from the old grill. So, I'm going to be taking off all these guys, and I kept all the screws that I have. Don't have all of them because this one broke off and that one broke off. I should be able to find some somewhere in my stuff, but if not, you can always just pick some up at the hardware store or your auto parts store. Alright, so now we're done with that. I got the bolt in here. Also, so the lights that I got, they were like $10 for a pack of 10. The bag smelled super funny, which I know that's not super important, but when I was putting 2 of them in, I'll show you guys. So the lens, the bulb, it popped off, and then same with that one. They both just came clean off. They're $10. They're cheap. So I honestly am not that surprised. All right, so we got the bolts. Now let's get this sucker on there. Alright guys, it's on, and we're finally starting to look like a truck again. I have new bezels that I'm going to be putting in for the headlights. They are for an 83 to 84 model. I really like that body style, because rather than this guy where it's just a single headlight and then these fake looking vents to match the old grill, this guy right here, which has the single headlight and then a long park light, and I'm gonna put some 6-inch LEDs in underneath. But I know I need to get these painted, but I kind of want to see what it looks like before we do that. So I think I'm gonna put them on and then get them painted, and then we'll put them back on and finish things up. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a night. It's been a pretty successful day. Got the fenders on, which took the bulk of the day, and then because we did that, we were finally able to get the grill on there, and we got the headlight bezels on. So next time we're going to actually get those bezels the right color, and I think we'll be able to call it good. You know what? I decided that even though you won't be able to notice a whole lot, I want to change the color on the front clip, get rid of some of that rust, make it look a little bit better. So even though we just got it on, we're going to take it off again and deal with that. Obviously it looks a little different since last time you saw it. If you notice, one, I grinded everything up with the flap disc and sanded the areas that I couldn't get with the flap disc, because it doesn't need to look great. it's behind the grill. I just need to get some paint on it so it's all the same color. But you notice I got some cutouts right here because I have some lights that are going in there. I'm busy making mounts for those, but I want to get some paint on here while I still have some daylight. Okay, just finished painting this up. It's not going to be perfect, I totally expect that. This is behind the grill, so it doesn't really matter. I just wanted it all the same non-rusty color. So, put some Pour 15 on there because had it laying around, and now we get to wait for that to dry. I'm going to go back to making the mounts for my lights. I'm going to leave that out of the video because unless you are doing a front-end swap like I am with the non-stock headlights, or with the non-stock park lights, then you won't need to do this part. So if you guys want to see those mounts and the lights, how I got those to fit in there, I can show you guys, but you're gonna have to throw that down in the comments, otherwise it's just gonna be the finished product for y'all. Alright guys, got the mounts figured out for those lights and got everything painted, got the bezels painted. So let's say we start getting things buttoned up. We're running out of daylight and I want to show you guys the finished product before all the daylight's gone. So let's get all that done. I know it might not be as exciting for you as it is for me because this is my project, but I haven't had a full front fascia in over a year, maybe even 2. So I'm super excited that I was able to get all the parts, get everything fabricated, put in there. I will be wiring everything up, and I'm gonna make a video when I wire them up. But I'm gonna make a place for a whole switch panel inside the cab. So before I get to that, I have another little project that I'm going to be doing that might help out anybody who has dash wipers instead of column wipers. And that's going to involve one of these. So haven't really decided yet which one I'm going to go with, but picked them both up for like 50 bucks. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see anything like that, whether it's the column, the wiring, any other projects, make sure you guys are subscribed and like the video. It helps me out. And put any comments of questions or just your input that you may have. This is the first grill I've made like this. I'll probably make another one, maybe out of steel. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for your time. Y'all have fun, be safe, make good choices. Have a great day.